Hello and welcome back to another episode of TÄCHES Teaches. I'm Tash, and in today's video I'd like to talk about recreating this module in the grid. This is the Thing Modular Radio music. And what this device is a sort of sampler that's set to recreate the idea of just tuning into different stations on a radio. It's got a little SD card port that you fill with all sorts of weird and wonderful audio, and when you plug it in, and it just sits there, it will just be consistently playing music all the time. There's no play button for it, it's just always playing. And the three main controls that you have, I've got it caught, is you have a station knob, which allows you to pick the audio file you're listening to, or radio station. You have the start point, which when the start point is set to there, for example, and you press the reset button, it will reset at that point. And other than that, you have the same button can be held down to go through banks, and long story short, you just have lots of audio on it that you can skip through at random that is always playing, and that you don't know what the audio files are because there's no screen, there's no names, there's nothing, there's just constant audio. And the fun arises when you then use it in tandem with some sort of rhythmic source to choose the resetting. But you can also then set modulation to control the actual start point or the station itself. So you can end up with some really quite wacky, wonderful ideas. What I want to show you today is how you can do that in the grid. So without further ado, let's jump right in. In order to emulate radio music in the grid, or in Bitwig in general, we're going to need to find a way to store multiple long audio files in one device that we can quickly cycle through multiple different audio files at different starting points. And the logical choice for that is to use a sampler. And some of you may have created your own multi-samples before, but if you haven't, I'm just going to quickly break down. I'm going to put a little time link below in case you know how to do this and you can skip forward to seeing it in action in the grid. But long story short, you make a new sample and you do create new multi-sample. And in order to split them in the way that we want, you're going to want to click this button up here, which will allow you to do the list editor. And then you're going to click this star, which will choose by select parameters. I've got all of these audio files. This is my SD card from the radio music, and all of these audio files are around 30 minutes long, and they've just got all sorts of random craziness in. Some of these things are stuff that I've recorded off of YouTube, things I just thought were inspiring. I've just got recordings of quite poor recordings as well. Some things are just bits that I've recorded off of YouTube, and they just cut out halfway through. Some of these things as well are full albums that I've downloaded or ripped from vinyl. And I took a bunch of audio files and just joined them into one, and they're all around 30 minutes long. Anyways, once you've highlighted all of these audio files, as many as you want, I think it's probably 128, same as MIDI, and you're just going to drag them here. And if you drag them here, you can see what's happened. It's now split them out. They're across all of, instead of being split on the piano roll, they're split by select module, which means that whatever's playing will be the select value. And the select value is this knob. And as you twist that, it will cycle through these possibilities. I'm not going to do that now just because it will take quite a while to load, but to show you what it actually looks like, if I go for my multi-samples, I've got my radio music one here, and this is what it should look like. And if you open it up, you'll see that there's just a shit ton of audio files there. And as I play, I can choose which one I'm playing by going through the select values. Once you've put all the audio files in, you just click save, and then make sure to save as a multi-sample. Don't save as a device, save as a multi-sample, because then you'll be able to access it in the grid, and also it won't take fucking 15 minutes to load every time you try and open it. Cool. So now let's have a look at how this works in the grid. So I'm going to take an instance of the grid, and I'm going to take a sampler. I'm just going to output that straight away, and I'm going to browse to samples, multi-samples, and I'm going to find my radio music multi-sample, and you can see that it looks just the same. If I were to click here, you can see that we have exactly the same view, and if I were to press a note now, we have the first sample, Anyways, so what we want to do is you can see that it's, this is an important thing to note, is you probably want to turn off the pitch control because you want to have manual control of the pitch here. And, okay, so now it just means it doesn't matter what key I press, we're just going to start at the same pitch, or the original pitch. And what I like to do is, like with the radio music, you can't just have something playing forever because A, then you're not really sampling, and B, it will just likely go out of time and you won't like the pieces you're using. So I like to use a reset point, and we use a gates module to reset the sample start. I put some just little drums in here as a backing understanding, and you'll see that this just keeps playing. But as I now press play, we're now restarting every time from the play start point. And to make this nice and simple to use, I'm going to take a value module and another value module. I'm going to drag these down here. And I'm going to call this one station, just like on the actual module. And I'm going to call this start. Let's take two mod outs. Just mute that for a sec, and let's take another one, and I'm going to map this station knob to the select parameter, and that will mean that we can cycle through all of the individual recordings that we're listening to. So that will pick the fifth and whatever, blah 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 blah. So now let's choose the start, and I'm going to bring this all the way back to the beginning, and I'm going to map the start knob to control the play point. And what this will mean is that I can I've turned the audio off. That's why. I can choose where in the audio we're looping from. I mean, that's really cool. But then we can also choose the radio station we're listening to. Okay, cool. So now what we can do is we can also, if we want to play with the pitch and the speed, let's put another two knobs under here, and we'll call this one, in fact, let's not use the pitch and the speed at the moment. Let's just leave it as is for now. And I'm just going to pop that here. Okay, so now it might be quite nice as well to be able to have control over how long the loop is. I like to just leave it on the first beat, and then we choose the reset speed here. So we're going to take a phase in and can connect that up, and this will now mean that we're doing the same loop as we had before. If we want the loop to be longer, we just change it to a lower denominator. Find a different spot. I find though that 1 bar loops work the best. But you'll notice that, like with the real radio music module, because we don't have accurate control of the start point to start it on a kick or on a specific point, it becomes a bit messy sometimes, and it's very much just finding what works. But something which I find that is very handy pretty much all the time when working in this kind of sample-based fashion is I like to take a volume knob, and I'll put that before the output, and I'll also take up here, you could just do this with a separate side chain, but I do like to keep it inside. So then I'm going to take a envelope here, and we're just going to have a 4/4 pattern that basically brings the volume down. And that will give us a nice subtle side chain. And you'll see that that automatically helps the groove happen. We can probably even bring that down a little bit more. And now as we cycle through the start point, choose a different radio station. Okay, so that's cool. Another thing that I find quite important is to have filtering. So I'll usually take a high pass and a low pass. I just use the simple ones here, and I'll set the low pass to a 6-pole, and high pass I usually leave at 1. And just to keep it nice and tidy, I'm also just going to do it down here. I'm going to bring these guys all the way down, and I'll call this high pass, and let's make this one the low pass. And the reason why I like to just keep it all visual is because then I'm just working on 4 knobs without having to really think about the rest of it. So in fact, I'm going to bring this back over here. So we're really just focusing away from the sampler on these knobs. So let's have a quick listen again and see if we can't dial something quite cool in. In fact, let me map this the other way. So I usually like to roll off a little bit of the low end and fill to the top. Oh, that's quite cool. And you'll find these little moments where you're just like, I would never have thought to sample that and loop that. And of course that's now starting a little bit off the beat. So you could try subtle changes like maybe going to 0.8. And because these are quite large files, you don't have much definition here on control, so usually you'll find a spot and not be able to do too much around it. Another thing which I find quite useful is playing with that start point in a more controlled fashion. And the way that I like to do this is I take a merge module, and for the sake of this quick demonstration, I'm just going to leave it at 2 possibilities, and I'm going to take a value. And this value knob will be doing exactly the same as this start knob. Let's bring this all the way back down to 0. And I'm going to take another modulator out, and I'll use that to control this. I could just use that to control the knob over there, but this will allow us to basically choose the start point, the same way as we were before. Okay, so that's cool. And then I like to take a trigger and a counter, and I'll set the counter to 2, and I'll input that as the control. So we've got 39.1 there. Let's set this to like 39.5. And what will happen as I now trigger this is it will quantize to the next gate signal being a different pattern. I need to change this to rap. There we go. And we could use the same gate source to trigger this. Let's change that to 39.2. Let's go back again, that's quite good. And of course, if you want to add more steps, we can go 4 here, change the counter to 4, and bring these down. Sometimes it's quite nice to keep the same values, but then change it the second time around, so we'll go 39.7. And once you've found bits like this, you can just record out the audio, or you can then just fuck around with it even more and then change the station. And if you change the amount of gate notes in the space or speed it up here, you'll then get that's quite cool. And then of course you can go here, and if you were to change the speed, you'll squeeze more notes into that space. And if you change the pitch, you can just change the pitch. But if you go down to textures and put the grains all the way up, you can change the pitch and the speed independently. That's fucking lovely. Or, if you don't want to change the pitch, but you want to change the speed, and of course if you then play with the grain and the motion, you can get some really cool vibes there. Let's see what happens if we change it to something less chordy. Okay, that's really cool. Let's see if we can find that chord one again. Okay. And of course, there's nothing stopping you from not just duplicating this down and connecting up a second module. Sometimes it takes a second to load. Really cool. And of course, if you add more gate notes in, then you can make it reset. In fact, instead of adding another one there, I'm just going to duplicate the channel and do another one. And of course we can now change the pitch independently. That sounds quite cool. If we had another one, maybe we could filter out the high end and just keep the low to make like a nice bass line. Dial back that side chain a little bit. And of course the best bit is we don't know what these samples are, and we're not looking at an audio file, we're just going based off of whether we like the audio of it. And that's quite cool. And think of all the other extra modulations you could do as well. You know, you could take this gate source here and let's duplicate this down and do maybe a select here. So we'll choose that. We'll choose this to control that as well. And then we'll use another gates module to pick the start point, or we could use a probability. So occasionally we'll go through to another one if we put all of these here. Anyways, I think that's a lovely brief overview of how you can recreate radio music in Bitwig. Well folks, that's sadly all we have time for today, but I do hope that this video has been useful. If you enjoyed it, then please remember to like and subscribe if you wish to keep up to date with all of my future videos, and don't forget to smash that turn on your notifications button so you don't have to keep checking to see if I've put out a new video. If you'd like to take your support a step further, please consider becoming a patron too, the link is in the description. And in the meantime, happy Thursday and happy creating.